Hello everyone, welcome to the ITLS Academy. Our today's lecture is on the topic potential of high hydrostatic pressure to improve the production of plants used as food. Let's begin our lecture with the introduction first. As we know, all human beings need nutrients which are component of food to survive and grow. These nutrients can be classified under two main classes. First one is the macronutrients and second one is the micronutrients. These macronutrients mainly used for synthesizing other metabolites or providing energy, while the micronutrients mainly act as a cofactor for enzymes that takes role in the metabolism. Metabolism is generally defined as the sum of all biochemical reactions that occurs in the body for building up or repeating tissues and regulating the body processes. Plants are good resources for nutrients because they not only produce food for themselves to survive but also stores these nutrients in some of their parts, such as in their roots, stem, leaves, fruits and seeds for future use. As an heterotroph, human beings explore and find these nutritious parts of the plant and consumes them as a food. In addition to nutrients, plants also contain several metabolites, which are also important in terms of human nutrition and health. Taking one first is the primary metabolites. These are accepted as metabolites which directly take up their role in growth, development, and reproduction. On the other hand, the secondary metabolites are important for human as a natural medicines, having several anti-infective properties, such as they act as a antibiotic, antifungal, antiviral, anti-cancer. They also act as an antioxidant, anti-diabetic, anti-inflammatory, and insecticidal, and has the capacity of being used as flavorings, fragrance, and food additives. This lecture is mainly aimed to present the potential of high hydrostatic pressure in improving plant production and expand the perspective of the scientists mainly working in this field. Plant To discuss an improvement in plant production, we should first understand some details about the plant production chain. Plant production chain is a typical food supply chain which is mostly known as farm to fork production. A plant production chain can be divided into five main steps, which are the production, processing or packaging, distribution, retailing, and consuming. In this chain, the first step, namely production, starts with the sowing, cultivation, and harvesting. These three steps are the most important steps in improving plant production. Thus, we need to analyze these steps in detail. Taking the first one as the sowing. Sowing as a term means the process of planting seeds. There are three main parameters related to sowing process which may directly affect the plant production. These are the depth of sowing, time of for sowing, and the density of the plants. In addition to these parameters, several other factors may also affect the germination and seedling emergence, such as the quality of the seeds used during sowing, dormancy, which is important in ability of germination of seeds, application of several pre-sowing methods before sowing the seeds, availability of water in the environment, which can be accepted as water stress, ambient temperature, light, predation, and pathogens. The next one is the cultivation. Productivity of horticulture process can be influenced by several parameters, such as the seed types used, the technology used in the cultivation, climatic factors, edaphic factors, and the use of treatment to reduce the effect of stress conditions. The technology of cultivation is basically choosing cultivation strategies suitable for plant type, taking the soil type, and also based on the environmental conditions. The last is the harvesting. This is the last step of the first step of plant production chain, which can be explained as the process of collecting a ripe crop from the field. On gathering crops from the field, several different techniques may be applied, such as the labor intensive harvesting, especially used on relatively smaller field, whereas harvest mechanization is mostly used on longer field. The next is the high hydrostatic pressure. Let's understand what is it. The high hydrostatic pressure processing is a novel food processing technology, which is one of the non-thermal food processing method and also known as the cold pasteurization technique. It has reduced effect especially on the nutritional properties and quality of processed food in contrast to thermal food treatment processes, because it does not require any heating process which may cause reversible or irreversible damages on the specially biomicromolecules such as enzymes. One of the successful application of high hydrostatic pressure on the biological material is using this to increase the percentage of the germination and to decrease the germination time and to improve the microbial quality of the seeds and sprouts. Next topic is the application of high hydrostatic pressure on plant seed. As it was mentioned earlier, that high hydrostatic pressure find itself a wide range of application area, whereas today it is mostly used in processing of food samples. The main aim of these applications was mostly in improving the germination time and rate and increasing the microbiological quality of seedlings. D. Rice in 1915 was one of the first scientists applied pressure on plant seed. As a result of this study, it was observed that application of pressure both decreases the germination time from 5 to 3 days and increases the germination percentage from 2% to 72%. In comparison to this application, various other scientists has also performed the same application at different range of pressure and duration and gained different results based on their modifications. Latest research regarding the application of high hydrostatic pressure on plant seed especially focused on not only the germination time and rate but also on some other parameters such as microbiological quality of sprouts emerged from the high hydrostatic pressure applied on the seeds earlier. The next is the improvement in the growth rate. Before discussing why and how an improvement can be observed in plant production due to pressure application, we need to accept that the quality of seeds used in the process should be high as it was mentioned previously. The reason for an improvement in germination percentage and a decrease in germination time is most probably related to be establishing internal water content of the seeds much quicker under the pressure, which means when the internal water content can be established quicker, it may shorten the germination time, and when germination time will be shorter, there will be an increase in the germination percentage. So if the germination time of a seed is shorter, seedlings appear quicker, which means they start to grow earlier than the seeds having longer germination time. The next one is the growth rate of seedling emerged from the seeds processed by high hydrostatic pressure are higher than the seeds in which no pressure applied. As the growth rate are higher, The length of their hypocotyls is higher than the control seeds. This growth rate are this is very important point because this means that pressurized seeds are ready for harvesting earlier than the unpressurized seeds, which would lower the cost for the production. The next one is the reasons for improvement. The first reason for the improvement in the growth rate is very basic. As seeds processed by high hydrostatic pressure germinated earlier as compared to the seeds unpressurized, they will start to grow quicker, which make them ready for harvesting at earlier time. The second reason for the improvement in the growth rate may be due to the response of the plant against a stress condition. The rate of photosynthesis increases as a response against pressure application. An increase in photosynthesis would cause the improvement in the growth rate. The third is the the third and maybe the most speculative reasons would be related to the response of the seed against the depth it was sowed. Plant seed may understand whether they are sowed at deeper depth or shallow depth with the pressure on them. If they are sowed at deeper depth, they need to increase the length of their hypocotyle longer as quick as possible so that they can reach to the sunlight before their nutrients deposited in the seeds finish, and to start the process of photosynthesis as soon as possible. So, the seeds which were processed by high hydrostatic pressure would react as they were sown at much deeper depth, and in order to survive, they may increase their growth rate to reach the sunlight. As a result, increasing the germination percentage and decreasing the germination time can be accepted as an improvement in plant production. Thank you for being with us. I hope you have enjoyed the lecture today. For more information, please log on to our website www.itlsacademy.com and register yourself for online courses.